Welcome to the Golf Report podcast here with Kim Kaufman at Tuesday at the Epson Tour's Hartford Healthcare Women's Championship. Kim, tell me about being here at Great River and how you're feeling going into the week.
We played here last year, and this course is fantastic. I think it went in everyone's, top three probably on the tour. So it's fun to be back. We hope we have a little less rain this year. We had a lot of trouble with storms last year, but I played the back nine today. Front nine's great. Yeah, I feel good about my game. I've had a good year so far, so we're excited.
You played the back nine. What was your favorite hole? What was your least favorite? I mean, I know mine. It's number 12 and number 16 are my least favorites. But what do you think about the back nine playing today?
Yeah, 12, you really got to set up that third shot well. If you do that, then it's okay. But I think 13 is really hard. You want to push that drive down, but you can't get too close to the water. So I think that's probably the hardest hole out there. But I do like the next par five. I think it's 15.
So tell me, how has your season been, and how long, have you been a professional golfer, and how long have you played on the Epson Tour?
So I turned professional in 2013 when I graduated from Texas Tech and played out here, played LPGA for many years, and now I've been back here a bit. So we've done it all. It's all part of the journey. So the year's been good. I've had a really nice year, the best year I've had in the last 3 or 4 years. So we're hoping for a good end of the season and hopefully go back up to the LPGA.
Kim, so given you played on the LPGA Tour, tell me about your experience playing on the LPGA Tour, and how long you played on the LPGA Tour.
I played out there for 7 years. It's wonderful. You really are living the dream. It's not always easy. You have tough times, and people think it's always fun, which it's not. But there's tough times in any job, I think. So you get through those, and super fortunate. You get to travel the world, which I loved. I saw so many great places, made a ton of great friends. So I definitely miss it. I've made good friends out here too, though, which is no matter where you are, I try to have a good attitude. No, it's just part of the journey. So, but it's wonderful. It's really cool to be out there.
So Kim, tell me where you grew up. How you got started playing golf, like what age you began playing, and just tell me about some early golfing memories you have, whether that's junior, high school, just growing up.
So I grew up in Clark, South Dakota, which is a very small town. It's about 1,200 people. And I started playing golf when my sister did. My parents essentially had a farm. They sold their farm and moved to town, and my dad thought he would play. We had a little nine-hole golf course, but in reality, my sister and I really played. He never played much, so I always was just trying to beat her. I was a competitive one. She was my older sister. She was very good at a young age, and I just thought, gosh, like she came home. She came home once and she had this big medal. She went to a tournament. I thought I need one of those, so I went and started playing tournaments at the age of 5, and that's all we did. It's all we've known, but I loved it. It was a great thing for us to do, and that's what we did as a family.
Don't know much about South Dakota, but I will say I know might be going to the U.S. Women's Mid Amateur this year. It's in by Boston, and from South Dakota, Shannon Johnson. I believe she's from South Dakota.
Yep.
She's played in U.S. Women's Open. She won the Mid Am before. She's gotten to the final before, I believe. So she's from Massachusetts. So that's about my knowledge
Yeah,
of South
it's
Dakota
good though.
golf.
It's good.
But you have some good players there from South Dakota. Tell me about South Dakota golf and what it's like playing South Dakota. I'm sure you have winter weather you have to deal with up there, and so tell me what you did in the winter growing up in South Dakota.
Yeah, we had a short season. Our high school golf season would start mid March, and sometimes you would play then, sometimes you wouldn't play till May. So it varies. So, but we love our golf. I think we're so appreciative those summer months. So we really love to play, and almost every town had a 9-hole golf course. So we actually have a lot of golf up there. In the winter, we would always have some sort of net in our garage wherever we lived, and we'd always just hit balls. And honestly, when I came out in the spring, it's probably when I hit it the best because you're in there to work and you work in your golf swing and you don't have any outcome. So people think, oh, that'd have been so hard. I don't. Sometimes it was a bit of a benefit. You put it away, you don't get burned out, and you can really just work on your golf swing. So, we didn't know any different, so we loved it.
So tell me, you played at Texas Tech for college. How does someone go from South Dakota to Texas Tech, and what specifically drew you to Texas Tech for college?
I really wanted to go somewhere warmer. That was number one on the list, and I wanted to go to that big school. I wanted to have I graduated with 20 kids. We had 100, probably 120 kids in our whole high school. So I wanted to go and experience the football games, the basketball games, and be on a big campus. So I was recruited by Tech, and I went there, and I loved it. I had the best time, and I still go back. I live in Fort Worth now, so we still go back quite a bit. I thought college golf is great.
Patrick Mahomes went to Tech. Is that correct?
You did.
Do you like Patrick Mahomes? Do you have a favorite football team or?
Well, we're big Vikings fans. When you're in South Dakota, you're usually a Minnesota or Green Bay fan. But I'm very happy to jump on the Patrick Mahomes bandwagon. I feel like I can do that since I went to Tech. So
Yeah, you got to support any Texas Tech Red Raiders.
Yep.
So tell me, you finished college. When did you turn professional, and how was your journey to turning professional? Did you get any status anywhere? Did you have to go to the Q school? Tell me about your journey to turning professional.
So in 2013, when I graduated, there was actually something on this tour called an A5 exemption. And essentially, at the December of the previous year, if you were ranked 1 to 5 in college golf, you could come straight onto the Epson Tour.
Okay.
And I was in that top five. So I came straight out with, they had played 5 events, and there was 10 events to play, I think. And I played well, and I finished like 12th. So I went to right to final stage of Q School. So I didn't go to
Okay.
first or second stage, which was huge.
Yeah.
And I went there and I finished like 21st, which was conditional status again. And at the time, I just had no idea what that meant, though. I thought, okay, I'm back on Epson
Conditional status
for the
it?
LPGA.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes, and but I just didn't know what that even meant. So we were going along the season, and I win like the second event of that next year. So I'm leading the money list, and my agent calls me and says, "Kim, like you got into Hawaii," and I had no clue. I hadn't booked anything. I spent $2,000 on a flight. It was a total rookie mistake. So I go to Hawaii. It's an off week on Epson. I play well, make the cut. I thought that was great, but I'm gonna go back to Epson. I'm gonna like get my card, you know. Play another couple weeks. And my agent says, "Kim, you got to Dallas. But this is during an Epson event now, so I'm kind of conflicted. I don't really want to go, but I'm too afraid to tell my agent." So I go to Dallas, and I actually finished fourth in Dallas, and I played the LPGA ever since. So I had a really unconventional way of honestly gaining like full status and playing. But I look back and I'm so thankful for him for being on top of it. And you go and play, and sometimes you're naive. That's kind of good. Now I know too much. I know all about money lists and what it takes and how much it costs to travel, and sometimes that's kind of a hindrance. So back then I just played, and they always say good golf takes care of itself, and that really was true.
So correct me if I'm wrong, but it's my understanding how you got, to the final stage of Q School. Is that kind of like the PGA Tour U we have right now, or is how you got the State Street, is that different than the PGA Tour U?
Well,
I know you had to go to Q School still. You didn't get full status like PGA Tour U does, but is it kind of, in a sense, kind of similar?
Well, I ended up
Really?
having to go to final stage only because I finished outside the top 10. So essentially, the PGA Tour U was kind of essentially like they take it straight to Epson, but now we don't have that anymore. So they've done away with that. I think they're working on maybe on having something different, but yeah, it was just 5 college players that they let come right on an Epson Tour. I don't know how long they did that for, but I was very thankful for it. So it would be a similar, yes, a similar program.
Yeah, I asked that question because when I first started my channel, I interviewed Missy Farkay, the ASU coach, and she was one of the best interviews. Not only because I'm an ASU fan, but she said she was adamant she wanted like a PGA Tour U for the woman because the men have it, where you can get Corn Ferry or PGA Tour America's status, but they don't have one for the woman. And she was saying that her player Olivia Mahaffey, great player, All American, things like that, won a national championship even with ASU, but she didn't really have much status coming out of college, and something like PGA Tour U or something like that for the women could help them. And so that's why I asked that question. My final question is, what do you see for yourself this week, and what are some, goals you have for the remainder of 2024 with your season?
Yeah, I mean, I'm in a good position on the points list. So now it's kind of a game of not trying to go out and like protect it or
Where are you on the points
I
list?
am third on the points list.
Oh, nice.
So yeah, thanks.
Hopefully LPGA next year.
So hopefully LPGA, but a lot of golf left. It's hard not to. You don't want to come out here and try to protect it. You got to keep playing.
Isn't it like 8 events left or something like that?
8 events left. Yeah, we played 10, so we're a little over halfway.
Yeah, I was reading that.
Yeah, so honestly, just go out there and really try to stay in the present, hit every shot the best you can, and don't go out there with this mindset of trying to protect it or not make mistakes. Like you're going to make some mistakes. So just trying to play a little bit free, which is at this point of the season it's going to be a little bit hard. But I'm gonna, I think if I go out there and the rest of the season just hit every shot the best I can, you see where the chips fall, but I think I'll be in a good position. So.